Hello, my peeps. Lacey is joining me today to help explain how, or demonstrate, I guess I should say, how to do a social story in one way of doing a social story. There was somebody who had posted a question for some help on a Facebook page that I interact with for autism. And the question was on how to help his brother understand to not take items that don't belong to him from other people's property. And so one of the things that I've incorporated in my social stories when I'm working with children that are on the spectrum is pictures. And Temple Grandin is the one who says that the kiddos that are on the spectrum think in pictures. And so I took that information and I'm using it. And so I wish I could do this differently, but this is what we've got. So I've got my paper here and a marker, and I'll be showing you every once in a while what exactly I'm doing. But Lacey is going to be giving me input of information as I am doing this. So this is how I would do a social story with that young man that the brother is talking about, for not taking items that belong to somebody else. Okay, so I just do very basic stick figures. And so Lacey, I'm going to ask you a question. What is something that is very special that belongs to you?
The telescope that I got.
Okay, so your telescope, very special to you, okay? So I first start off with just a regular stick figure. And then this is going to be a person here who has a telescope. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the person you're working with. Okay, I'm not going to draw the telescope very well, but okay, so there's the telescope. Oh, and he's got eyes. So this person, now tell me what this person's name is going to be that owns a telescope. Okay, do you want it to be Lacey? Okay, I'll put Lacey. It doesn't have to be the name of the person doing this. Okay, so, and then I always label it. Okay, and so there's another person. So you've got your telescope and it is out in the front yard. It's out in your front yard. And you went to go use the bathroom, and somebody was walking by. So somebody was walking by and they see that telescope. And so what is this person's name? Dennis, okay? Okay, Dennis walks by and he sees this telescope and he's thinking, gosh, I like that telescope. I would like to have one. And so when Lacey comes back out, the telescope is gone. And so, and it's just missing. And so how does that make Lacey feel? I tried to make it third person. I blubbed up there for a minute. I don't say you. How does that make you feel? How does that make Lacey feel? She walks outside and it's gone.
Really sad and disappointed.
Sad and disappointed. Okay. Yeah, I bet Lacey does feel sad. And I'm going to write that down. And I might even do another figure of being sad and disappointed. That's right. Well, you know what? Um, was that okay for Dennis to take that? No, it wasn't okay. Let's rewrite this story. We're going to rewrite this story here. So here we've got Lacey is outside using her telescope. And Dennis walks by and he says to himself, gosh, that's a really cool telescope. And now he's thinking, I would like one. And so I do lots of where they're just talking voices or talking bubbles or thinking bubbles. And so now he's doing this, and now he's thinking, um, what would he think? So if we're retelling this story. Now he's not going to just take something that does not belong to him. What is he going to do?
I'm gonna think twice about it and think to himself that it's wrong.
Okay, he can do that. And how can he think of how can he get a telescope of his own? Oh, okay. So maybe he could save some money up to buy one or something. Okay. All right. Very good. That's very true. That would really be heartbreaking if Lacey lost her telescope, wouldn't it? And that, well, you wouldn't understand why people were just taking things that don't belong to them. Okay, so that's an example of how I do the social stories. So I'm making it personal with them. I'm using their items that is important to them. I've actually done one of these social stories with a little girl with a stuffed bunny who accidentally left it at church. And when she came back, it was gone. And we rewrote the story and it to where she came back and somebody had found it and turned it in for her to claim it and not lose it. And that young lady very much understood, and she stopped taking items. She was taking things like lipsticks and things like that. But she had stopped doing that after that social story. But drawing it all out, draw as much as you want, make it personal, but still in the third person, not them specifically. Let them name it, and use those characters. You can use those characters afterwards as well. I sometimes I did one recently where the family continues to use this specific named character throughout the day, and so she's able to more associate her actions with and decision making based on this character that we did the story about. Anyways, I hope that was helpful for you. It's been very helpful for several of my families that I work with. And so, but everybody's very different, and you know your child the best. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lacey.